And we are live, fresh off the heels of the Miami Heat getting spanked, bro.
You just had to. I was coming in here, I was so excited, and then, man,
everything was cool, bro.
you just had to.
Listen. There was something wrong with the team all year.
There
was. And you know what, Mike? I looked at the roster. It was not that different from last year. It's just a different year.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, come on, bro. We were expecting Hero to have to step up and take the next step of stardom. And a lot of people were Duncan Robinson to be a bigger contributor and Bam to be more effective. I mean, dude, even Goran Dragic was like limited in a way. Like, whatever. I look at the team and clearly they overachieved last year because if this is the real team, it was kind of dysfunctional a little bit.
Okay, so couple things. Number one, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Even though I'm glad we made it to the playoffs back-to-back, I still feel that this season was a failure in some areas. You're absolutely right. They did not step up in the moments. Jimmy Butler, I think COVID kind of really played a factor because then he got COVID, Bam got COVID, and, recovery for COVID for some people can be bad, but I don't want to say that's 100%, but I do believe there was an imbalance with the team, and I know this is not a basketball topic, so I'm just going to get this quick. We gave away really good pieces, Jay Crowder, Kelly Olynyk, and, you trade away just to match the Brooklyn Nets. I'm very disappointed with Miami. Now, one of the other things that disappoints me is they get Victor Oladipo, and now Oladipo will not play. He's got season-ending injury, and unfortunately, we probably will not see him in a Miami Heat jersey for a year, or probably never will. So we kind of lost the trade, I think that. But most of all, I got to put some blame on Erik Spoelstra. I don't want to say, Erik Spoelstra is a great coach. I love him. He is the genius behind the Miami Heat. But you bench Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, giving them 15 minutes to play in a playoff series when they produce good numbers during the playoff series. You bench them, then you then all of a sudden turn around and then start Goran Dragic as a desperation move. When I think you should have just started, in my opinion, should have just started Tyler, Duncan, Jimmy, Bam, and given, we don't have another big man, we could have put in, Precious, give him a little taste. I could go on and on. This is not a basketball channel. This is a tech channel. But I will say this, Miami, it was disappointing. It was very, very disappointing, especially got swept. But I still believe that, last year wasn't a fluke because we had the pieces last year. I just think we got rid of them. And I think hopefully in this offseason, they will make some smart moves, even if they have to give away Tyler or Duncan. Personally, I would rather give up Tyler than Duncan because Duncan's more consistent. But it's a tough choice. We'll see what Pat Riley does.
I need the Cavs to be better next year. I'll just leave it at that. They were terrible this year.
Well, the ownership apparently is in question. They're saying some young kid owns a team now or it was handed to him.
Well, that would make sense because Dan Gilbert's ill. He's not doing well. So, but anyway, we could do the sports thing some other time.
Another time. Yes. Tech today.
I know we already got some questions, man. So let's see. Somebody was asking. Well, first of all, let me say what up to Aloha Android. What's up, Tito? Good to see you, man. We got Isaiah. We got MS, Chucky, Jason, the homie Mike, James, Baby Yoda. Kimon, good to see you guys. Gerald is in the house. He likes the pixel. LOL. Yep. We got Jose, what up, Mang? Alexis is asking, does China own that team too? Not Miami, right? That's
not Miami,
Mickey Harrison. No. Yep. So, hey, Ron, good to see you. When will Verizon update their data caps? Probably when they get more capacity, national scale. So, I don't know, maybe next year at some point, maybe early next year. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're glad to have you. And big shout out to Gene. Yeah, thank you for coming through. Who else we got here? Oh, Ryan, long time no see, man. Good to see you.
Ryan, good to.
When are the T-Mobile free lines coming? They've been giving them away for a long time, man. I don't think they're going anywhere, actually. Yeah, they've been giving them away like hotcakes. Hey, man, we're going to do two things today, Mike. We're going to do the best phone so far this year, right? So any manufacturer, the most recent phone they've offered, so we could stretch back to the iPhone, right? Because that was a Q3 release or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You could stretch back to the Note 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
It stretches back to the Q3 of last year. Could be the most recent Pixels. We haven't got anything new since October-ish.
Yeah.
The Galaxy's really, like I was going to talk about the S21 Plus. I've had it for about a month now, and it's been really nice. So I'll talk a little bit about that. We can also discuss kind of the expectations for the rest of the year. What do we expect from the next iPhone, the next Google phone, mid-rangers?
Okay.
I don't know if you're expecting anybody else to be a disruptor, these types of things. So
it's possible. We could talk about it.
All right. So to kind of guide this, let's do the phone conversation second. I want to talk first about this concept of, is 5G worth winning? All right. So let me frame it, and then you can have at it.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I want to frame this story or whatever, every carrier is trying to sell their 5G, right? Every carrier is trying to say, we're winning 5G. Our 5G is the best. Buy our 5G. Da 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 da. All this marketing, all the commercials, all the ads. Notably, it's really T-Mobile driving home the point that they are the 5G leader because they have the most 5G availability. They have the 5G. They've got the most of it, and it's also the most reliable. So, anyways, every carrier is trying to do it. Verizon, we got the fastest 5G. We've got nationwide. We've got AT&T. We've got the best. It's all this marketing stuff. My point is, if you actually want to win 5G, what are you actually winning? Imagine running a race that never ends. Like, there's no terminus to the race. When the race ends, your company has gone bankrupt. Right? Your business goal is to never go out of business, right? You want to continue to operate and make billions and billions of dollars every quarter. Mm-hmm. You want to pay your shareholders dividends. You want to generate, revenue and profits, and you want to be successful. So imagine running a race that has no finish line, Mike. That's essentially what this is. It's the never-ending race. So what exactly are these companies trying to win? They're saying that we have the best 5G, we have the most 5G, but so what exactly is the 5G race to a consumer?
I think the race to 5G is just whose icon will pop up more often than the others. Now, I'm not going to discredit any carriers here. I'm not in the business to do that. I once was a long time ago, but not now. I'm 21 years old, so I have a little bit different approach, a more professional approach. But I will say, I think that this whole race to 5G thing, it really just feels like marketing. It's all marketing. It's all perception of what we see, our human eyes, the way we perceive it when we interact with it. And I think these carriers are just trying to take this title just to make people say, ha, we did it. The other guys can't do it. You got to come to us. I feel like it's all just a ploy. And there are some cases where some of it is true, and then of course there is just those that aren't true. If we go way back, 2019 5GE, that started the whole, AT&T is the first one to 5G. It was advanced LTE.
Right.
Then you look at Verizon and T-Mobile starting up, both of them going in different approaches, going sub 6 and then millimeter wave. One goes with millimeter, the other one. Then, the merger happens. So T-Mobile automatically gets assumed that they're going to be the big leader. And that's typically what's going to happen here. And then you've got Verizon, who is kind of keeping quiet. I know a lot of people will say Verizon's probably doing a lot of talking, but I haven't seen any commercials. I haven't seen any promotional push. I've seen more push for sales than 5G. I've seen more commercials to get people
the phone deals and stuff like that.
Exactly. Right. So I don't want to say I'm a Verizon fanboy, but I will say when it comes to carriers, and you've said this multiple times, it's not what they say, it's what they do. Their actions perceive what they're going to do. And for me, I feel like Verizon has taken a step back from speaking and taken a step back from marketing and have just let their network tell the tale. And I still think even with that, there is still room for improvement with everybody.
Yeah, sure.
That's really where I'm at. That's really where I think I'm at.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously it's a lot of marketing. They want to get people spending money with their companies, but just what exactly would you be winning in a 5G race? Like we're winning. Okay, so let's say that T-Mobile is winning the 5G race.
Hmm.
What does that earn them? Is there something that the other companies don't get because T-Mobile is winning the 5G race, or is there something that Verizon gets for having the world's fastest 5G? There's no award. Like I'm not walking up to Verizon and handing them a golden trophy. I'm not giving them a cookie. Here's your Oreo. You've got the fastest 5G. It's not like that. So I don't really know exactly what it is they're selling when it comes to this 5G thing. Now, I think something that's more meaningful is if your 5G is worth a damn and it actually is something good, then what are you going to allow your customers to do with it? So what becomes the use case, right, Mike? Like, can you now have next level gaming, next level AR and VR? Can you give me unlimited tethering and hotspot? Can you give me some kind of unique latency experience to give me some kind of an edge in gaming? Is there a use case that would be unique that was not offered in 4G LTE? Can you give me guaranteed 4K video streaming all the time? That sort of thing.
It's a good thing you bring that up. It's a very good thing that you bring up. And that's something that I've talked about. Fun fact, so a certain video that I had did, and I talked about potential value, and I sent it to somebody, but I never saw it make its way to surface. But we'll leave it in the trenches.
It will.
All right.
It will.
Well,
It will.
referencing that, that's potential value. And I think that's really where carriers are going to work their way. I think the race with 5G, of course, is a title, but I also think they're trying to now add a sense of value when they make these plans. And there is one thing that I will give T-Mobile some credit for. When they really give the Magenta Max plan, there is one thing on there, whether their performance can exceed or not. It's the unthrottled, no data cap, all unlimited streaming, and they to me embed what 5G should feel like to a consumer who wants to capitalize on all that power, get 4K streaming. If any smartphone supports that, well, Xperia. And then you've got Verizon adding in tons and tons of bundles, kind of trying to sweeten the pot. You've got AT&T, HBO Max, and I feel like that's the direction they're heading. They know that they're going to keep marketing the hell out of 5G, but they also know they need to persuade consumers to get onto their network. They need to find a way to get them in. And I think sweetening the pot by adding value, whether it be a streaming service, whether it be a unthrottled plan, whatever, I feel like the key in this situation is potential value.
Yeah, and you could do it a number of different ways. But again, you've got to separate yourself from the others, right? Like, that's going to be the hard part for Dish, to come in and be a disruptor. Well, what are you going to do that's going to set you apart from Verizon, who offers Hulu, ESPN Plus? Now they've got freaking La Liga soccer in there. Like, they literally have everything. Like, as long as you're cool with your bill being a little bit more expensive, like 5 or 10% more, the value you get with the premium Verizon plan is, it's incredible. So you get the Hulu bundle with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. You can get 2 months of Sling if you finesse it right. You can get they've got the Apple Music.
Yep.
Now they've got the arcade and the Google Play Plus. So if you're into gaming, there's so much stuff built into that if you're willing to be on their premium plan, that if you use all that stuff, if you were to pay for all that stuff separately, it's like a $50 value.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? Like you would choose the gaming platform. You would choose arcade or Google Plus. I think it's $5. The Disney bundle is $15. Or no, I think it's more now, isn't it?
The price went up.
And they were always going up. Like every quarter it goes up $1 or $2. I just look at it from that standpoint. If you like those things, then that becomes an attractive bundle that keeps people on. We were talking about HBO Max too, and that's a good platform.
Yeah, and I also want to add one quick thing really quick. Another thing that these carriers are racing with 5G is now the performance level. I think we talked about it briefly. I just want to discuss real quickly. I don't think any 5G performance, with the exception of millimeter wave, is up to the par that 5G should be. I feel like 4G LTE is still just an inch or more faster. But of course, next year they're projecting it to go up by 10% in terms of downlink and uplink. And it will actually be, now it won't be parallel with 4G LTE speeds. So I feel like the next phase is probably going to be performance. So I feel like this is a phase we're going through. We've got a marketing phase. That's step A. Market the hell out of 5G. Let's get it to the consumer masses. Let's put the word out. Step B, potential value. Let's start sweetening the pot. Let's start adding things, getting people to switch over, as long as, like you said, you're okay with these prices. And then option C, which will probably be now performance. Because I think that's where the investments, the spending from all these companies are going to take effect. And I feel like it's a mapped out phase in my way of interpreting the race to 5G. I feel like this is all planned out, and they're going to, segue into the next phase of what they're going to do with 5G.
I think the unfortunate thing, you brought it up, is they marketed it before it actually came to market.
Yeah.
Right. So they were trying to sell you something that actually didn't happen yet. Right. So they were like 5G this, 5G that. And it was like for T-Mobile, it was 5 megahertz of band 71. And then for Verizon, it was, 1 or 2% of the country's geographical span, because millimeter wave you need nodes everywhere, right? And AT&T with its band 5 megahertz, like it was so it was just so uneventful, to get on these first 5G networking strands, and it was like the carriage came before the horse, so. Yeah, and I think that's what disappointed people, and then that turned people off. And, if you remember the live stream that me and Carlos did, Carlos went and bought like 3 5G phones the same day.
Yeah.
And was like, what is this crap? Like this, there's no speed. It's no different than LTE. In fact, in some cases, it was slower than LTE because on the LTE side, there's more spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So... Man, it's been totally disappointing. It's been hard to justify to say to somebody, you're really missing out on 5G. But I will say this. I did a video on this about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
T-Mobile's pretty much abandoning LTE.
Yeah.
Right? They are completely just pushing all of their resources and their efforts into 5G. So if you are a T-Mobile customer, chances are your experience on 5G is going to be better than LTE. Just for the sake of a lot of the networking assets have gone towards 5G, and a lot of the attention and the network upgrades are going to go to 5G.
Yeah.
So if I were a T-Mobile customer, I would be looking at an upgrade if I haven't gotten one already.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Thanks for coming through. The other thing is, if you live in a Verizon millimeter wave market, 100% get yourself a 5G phone. Because, Mike, you've connected to the ultra wideband. What are your impressions?
Oh, man? That to me is true 5G. That's something you cannot compete with. That is beautiful speeds. I was getting 2.5 gigabytes, almost 3, close to 3 gigabytes on the downlink. Uplink, probably roughly around like 75, 80, maybe 100.
Still pretty good, right?
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like that is true 5G, but it's millimeter wave. It's so slow. It's like so what's the word? Short. It's so short. So I feel like, to me, Verizon, they're focusing on millimeter wave, but they're putting it in areas that are very packed, very, capable of handling millimeter wave. They just announced new locations for Jersey City. They've announced locations in Niagara Falls if you go to Canada. Mm-hmm. And now in their partnerships with teams for the NBA, starting in the next season, for the next, because everybody's going back to the games, they've announced that several teams' stadiums will have 5G ultra wideband enabled in the venue. And that includes the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Knicks. The Brooklyn Nets are probably going to be up next if they win the chip, for a fact. And Verizon's a big sponsor with Barclays Center.
Huge.
And it also, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Clippers. So you're looking at pretty much, sports fans will then be able to take advantage and truly see what ultra wideband is capable of. And
we're going to need some new plans though, Mike.
Yes.
That's what we're going to have to see, because if you look what T-Mobile did is they created the Magenta Max plan.
Yes.
And that is a 5G plan,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they're telling you, hey, you can get yourself 4K streaming, on this plan. It is a more premium plan, but hey, they've got to monetize their 5G. They've got to upgrade their network. They're going to need to generate revenue. So, in my opinion, I'm cool with it. It's okay with me. And honestly, that's what 5G is about. And look, man, if you want to stay on LTE, if people don't want to spend the money on the 5G phone or spend the money on a 5G plan, fine. Stay on the legacy tech, stay on the legacy slice of the network, and enjoy the skinny channels of bandwidth. And, when everybody else is flying on these 5G lanes, you'll be stuck in yesteryear on the old connections that are slower.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And that was one thing I mentioned in the video is that we're going to see these plans. We're going to see them come. They're going to be a little bit expensive. You cannot deny they are going to be a little bit more pricier, but not by much. But I still think they're going to get a price increase.
Sure.
And I feel like these plans are finally going to be dedicated for the 5G technology to truly take advantage of the speeds. Because what we have now is like a hybrid. It's kind of like a beta. They're testing the waters before they finally roll it out.
Honestly, man, like, what do I need to see from a 5G network? I need to see all the problems associated with 4G LTE networking addressed. So I want no moments of congestion. I want no coverage issues. I want complete, unique network slicing for specific tasks and plans. I want to see what LTE could not do. And that's really the only way it's going to be justified. Other than that, what are we really talking about here? Big shout out to Randy. Thanks for the super chat. After the Republic Wireless purchase, do you think Dish is going to be more MVNOs? I think they would be smart to MVNO all things. I think that would be really smart because it gets them subscribers. It helps them generate revenue. It's going to be hard to compete with Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile for a while. So you're going to have to fight, scrap tooth and nail to try to get business from them. But if you go MVNO, you can slam dunk a lot of deals. Like what if they added 10 million customers through MVNO? Like that's a great start.
Yeah, that's a huge booster right there. They
have like 9 million in Boost Mobile.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, heck, get the show going, right? Get it rolling. Yeah. Let's see. We also got one from Stephanie. Thanks for the super chat, Steph. Except at Walt Disney World, no 5G with T-Mobile, just LTE. But at least it's fast, 300 megabits per second. That's good.
That's respectable. That's good.
I hear Verizon and AT&T deal with a lot of congestion in Central Florida.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's true. So the thing is some of these networks, some of these cities and regions, they just have too much market share. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's almost like you should pick the carrier who has the least market share, and that gets you the the fastest lanes on your cellular networking.
And it also depends on, where you're located and how many people are in that area. Because I will tell you this much.
New York's just rough, isn't it? Like there's
New
just
York?
so many people.
Well, Staten Island is very good. I would say because it's a separate rock from the city.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it handles pretty well. They haven't expanded too much out here, but I feel like they're going to eventually. The only place they've gone as far for millimeter wave is just the ferry, the Staten Island ferry.
Just right there on that one spot.
Just right there.
Yeah, they'll have to expand that service. The thing about the millimeter wave is the more a company can scale it, the more cost effective the capacity is. Right? So all of the research, all the logistics, all the data suggests that the best way to do 5G is to push the millimeter wave as much as you can. There is no truer capacity layer. Like you even said it yourself, Mike. I don't get excited about anything unless it's millimeter wave. And sometimes I feel that way too. But I'll tell you what, man, like when the C-band hits the market, it's going to help a lot of people. There's a lot of markets where there is congestion, and we do need all types of 5G. You need low band for, in-building penetration and range. You need mid-band to give you, the mix of capacity and range. And then you need the millimeter wave to just offload a lot of traffic at these, densely populated places. Like, how many times I've gone to the fireworks show with the family and literally it's 10 o'clock, the fireworks are going off, you want to upload a video and you can't, dude.
Yeah.
You can't make a call, you can't do anything. The network tanked because there's freaking 10,000 people at the park, Well, with millimeter wave, that's a thing of the past.
And considering if you have the device that supports millimeter wave, you're going to be standing out in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's surprising.
What do you think, Mike? Half of the people might have a millimeter wave device in a crowd of 10,000 or less?
I would probably say, well, with the exception of iPhones, because I feel like everybody's an iPhone user nowadays.
But does everybody have the iPhone 12?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe a few to some. I'd say around a few to some probably in the crowd. They'll probably take advantage of it. It's kind of shocking, too, when some phone manufacturers are actually sending out phones with only one type of 5G. They don't even give you the option for one or the other or two of them together.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how they save cost.
Big shout out to Tito. Thanks for the super chat sticker, man. I appreciate you. Honestly, I'm looking at Barry's comment. He says speed is not the only metric. Reliability is important. I mean, that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's something you cannot.
I mean, I would sacrifice a 3 gigabit per second to get 1 gigabit per second as long as it was reliable.
That's true.
So I mean, if I could have a job where I would be working every day and making money, or if I would have a volatile job that I would be working sometimes and I would have to wait for a call, right? Like, reliability matters, man. You got to go with the given, I wish I could give 2,000, but if I hit the lottery, thanks, Tito. I appreciate it, man. You didn't have to, throw any donos or anything, bro. Thank you. My iPhone 12 Pro Max has millimeter wave. Yep, the entire lineup of the iPhone 12.
That was a shocker. To this day, even I still,
not me, bro.
I say it's a shocker because I thought Apple was going to pull a sneak move to lower the price for the 12s and the 12 Pro and Max. I thought they were just going to feature one type of 5G. But when they said all lineups, that was when I was like,
who was up on the stage, dog?
Man, the Big Red himself.
Yeah, Hans was up there.
Hans, what is it, Vesberg? How do you say his last name? Hans Vesberg. He was up there. What's funny is, and I said this a long time ago, I thought that would have been a perfect opportunity for T-Mobile. Mike is so good with quote-unquote collaborations. I'd have thought he'd have made a deal with one of the biggest tech giants out there.
Because they're not that big of a carrier. I mean, they are now with the Sprint merger, right? They have a huge market share now, but I mean, Verizon's still the big fish. AT&T's a big fish. I mean, T-Mobile's a big fish now with the merger, but they traditionally have always been kind of sort of like the redheaded stepchild. Ethan with the super chat. Thanks for that, buddy. Appreciate the dono. Millimeter wave is what gets tech enthusiasts excited. Midband will be the first tangible 5G experience that the average consumer will be able to appreciate. I totally agree. But here's the thing. N41, take, for example, the 2.5 gigahertz from T-Mobile. They have 104 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Verizon has 130 million, and AT&T has 102 million postpaid. So that's a lot of people that still have yet to feel ultra capacity networking. So when they get C-band, now we're talking what Ethan is saying, right? Mm-hmm. The scaling. The homie Scoop Man, what up, bruh?
Big Scoop.
Yep, good to see you, Scoop Man. That would have been John's thing, not Eugene.
They still don't want to let go of Eugene.
Apple did give them praise when they
did,
Wi-Fi calling.
I remember that.
Gerald says he's going to wait for the iPhone 14. So he's going to upgrade in 2 years.
Okay. All right. Not a bad idea.
Angel is here. I got a free upgrade phone from T-Mobile. I got the Samsung A32. Angel, what did you trade in? Because I think they were running that special. I saw a commercial for it. It was the A32. You just trade in some kind of phone and you get the A32 for free.
Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Right. Speaking of phones. It's 2021 still. We're about to cut through the midway mark, right? It would essentially be in a couple of weeks here. Joe. Oh, man, Joe. Big shout out to Joe, newest member of the SMT Patreon. Everybody, welcome Joe to the community. We're glad to have you. Thank you for supporting, man. Welcome, and glad you're a part of the community. And welcome to the show tonight. Appreciate you, man.
Good to see you.
And hopefully you enjoy all the great perks that come with the Patreon support.
Yep.
Randy with another super chat. Thanks, Rand. Did you hear about this thing where T-Mobile is demanding the FCC, Dish, and Starlink to move their satellite radios from 12 megahertz to another band? So, yeah, I think all wireless operators want the 12 gigahertz out of satellite and into wireless. So here's the thing. You know how we talk about millimeter wave?
Yeah.
And how it's a pain to deploy. It takes a long time. You need a lot of nodes. 12 gigahertz is basically low millimeter wave.
Oh.
Like, it's still millimeter wave, technically. But
True.
it's like on like the lower threshold of the spectrum, the frequencies.
Yeah.
So, obviously sub 6 gigahertz, right? Below 6 is traditional midband. But that 12 gigahertz has like a sweet spot because it's going to... It's basically going to be the best range you can get at a millimeter wave is kind of where I'm going. So if you were to aggregate that with C-band or CBRS or any of these like 3.5 gigahertz spectrum assets, that's going to be really, really nice. High capacity with some range, right? So the thing about that, Randy, is Verizon and T-Mobile want the 12 gigahertz. Dish wants it too, but they want to keep it to use for their network because now they're going to do wireless, right? They're moving away from satellite.
Yeah.
But Starlink wants to use it for what they want to do, right? So like these satellite companies still want to use it, and there's a lot of spectrum, but they don't want to give it up. That's like telling a billionaire, hey, we're going to take 500 million from you. Well, no, I'm a billionaire and I want to stay a billionaire. You're not just going to take half my money.
Yeah.
Right. That's essentially what could happen if the FCC says, look, we're going to take, of this 500 megahertz, we're going to auction off 280 megahertz. You can keep 220. What you mean, bro? We want to use it. Or they're going to want in on the proceeds when it gets auctioned.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So there might have to be some kind of an agreement that happens between the wireless ISPs and the satellite providers on how that's going to work. And the FCC is going to have to manage it.
True. Absolutely.
Yeah. So big shout out to Randy. And yeah, that'll be something that I'll be following closely because, the more and more spectrum we get, the faster our wireless networks get and the more capacity we have for fixed wireless. I mean, you never know. There may come a point where Mike is going to move and Verizon Fios isn't available, but Verizon 5G home internet is, right? So he can basically continue his business relationship with Verizon.
Yeah.
He would just do so over their wireless network.
That's true.
Verizon weirdly has millimeter wave on Disney property, and they have a lot of these cell sites on street corners and such down here, but I don't think it's on yet. So have you seen the sites? They put them on in pretty much every pole they can.
I didn't actually check them out yet. I'll be going on vacation soon, so I'll definitely be on the look.
Where are you headed to?
Orlando, Miami.
Okay. You're going back to Florida, huh?
Flird.
Nice. Yeah, so be on the lookout, man, and let me know.
Of course. 100%.
Oh, and we got James as a new Patreon supporter, too. Let's welcome James, man. Welcome. That's a couple of Patreon supporters. And by the way, on the Patreon page, we got a promo for Los Mobile. So if you guys are looking for a promotional discount on the Big Blue network on the Death Star, highest QCI, highest priority access, unlimited hotspot tethering. They got tablet plans, voice lines, hotspot plans, the whole thing. They got you covered. If you are an upper tier Patreon supporter, you can get a 5 to 10% discount on that service, and you can get all the extra perks. There's ways to get a static IP. There's way to get priority boosting. There's all types of things you could do. So if you're interested in that, there is a promo code, and you can get it just by being a Patreon supporter. We got that partnership with Los Mobile.
Los Mobile is making waves in the SMT nation.
Huge, bro. I could tell you I'm actually using Los Mobile as my home internet provider.
Very nice.
Because, man, I don't have fiber yet. I don't have Verizon Fios like Technoid Nation, bruh. Yeah.
Nah, we Techno Nation, we do use that fiber. We do use that fiber optics, but wouldn't lie, Los Mobile sounds very tempting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's I use Verizon Wireless as my primary.
Okay.
Los Mobile is right there. Between the Verizon Wireless and Los Mobile, I'm covered. I also have a T-Mobile line, but I'm having trouble with it. The merger integration is very annoying, dude. I really do feel like in some markets, it's probably good that some people pivoted and moved away from T-Mobile, and then they can just go back when things get sorted out. You know, I never tell people to leave a company. Always go with what works for you.
Yeah.
But honestly, if it's not working for you, let them work through it. If you really like the company, come back to them when they can serve you properly.
Agreed. 100%.
All right, Mike, we got to talk about these phones, dog.
Let's get to it.
All right, man. I have an iPhone 12 Pro.
Yep.
I have the specific blue. It's specifically very blue.
Yeah, I got my Pacific Blue right here.
I have an iPhone 12.
Okay.
I got the salmon red or whatever this is. I don't know. I have a I have a Google Pixel 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus.
Okay.
All right, now, if I'm going to be objective, which phone I enjoy the most, it's the Google Pixel. Honestly, when it comes to software, nobody does it better.
Yeah.
All right, when it comes to the experience, the fluidity, that butters, it's just really good, bro. And the camera is fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love my Google Pixel 5, but it's not ultra powerful. You know, it's smooth. It does everything I need it to. But like, say, for example, I'm editing video, which I do on my phone. It's not flawless. You know, it does kind of take a little bit of time to process and render. So I can't say that it does everything perfectly. It does most things great. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to put that as my honorable mention.
Okay.
Now, the iPhone is a very good phone. I like the design. It reminds me of the iPhone 5, which I liked, right? The metal build, the rails, stuff like that.
Agreed, yep.
The camera is really good. The Pro especially is very nice. Number one, I don't like the battery life. It's just, I really wish I would have got the Max. Maybe maybe we're talking about a different story here, right? Big shout out to Randy. Thanks for the super chat. I'm not surprised what you said about Dish moving everything to cellular. Sling is upgrading its app with Amazon Fire being the first device. I'd be interested to see what happens there. They're obviously going to want in on the money, on the proceeds of the 12 gigahertz, but I think they also want to retain some for their own networking. So I think you're onto something there, Randy, for sure.
True. Yep.
Back to the iPhones. So the battery life, again, I wish I would have got the Max.
Yeah.
The operating system there's nothing special about iOS, dude. Like everybody's iOS ecosystem. I don't do ecosystem. So I'm not consumed by iMessage. I'm not, I mean, yeah, like you could send a video and stuff through there. It's nice. It doesn't lose resolution. I mean, it has its perks, but honestly, dude, I still like the Pixel experience better than the iOS experience. I love the iPad experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like my wife has the iPad Pro. Yasmin's got a regular iPad. I think the 9-inch or whatever, 9.7.
Yeah.
Dude, it is incredible. They got the pencil to go with it. Oh, dude, it's great. My wife has the keyboard.
It's a great tablet. It's beautiful. It's really the best. Yeah.
It's the best. But honestly, bro, if the battery life was better, I would be a little bit less critical. But honestly, man, it's a good phone. If I was gonna rate the iPhones, I would give them an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. That's fair.
So I give the Pixel a 9.
Okay.
I give the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro an 8.5. The S21 Plus is a monster of a phone. Beautiful display. I mean, I actually think the iPhones have nice displays. I like them.
What?
Yeah, I do like the iPhone.
For a guy who's so critical of Apple in the past, you have come to bring yourself to say that.
I hated LCDs, Mike.
True, yes, you did.
So you remember the 8? That was the last generation, the 10R,
yep,
right?
I
Those
remember
were
those.
LCDs. Okay, when they started using the Samsung OLEDs, I was on board.
Okay.
Right? But honestly, dude, the S21 Plus, that display is gorgeous, and it's a 1080p. It's not even the Quad HD they used to do. Like I wish I would have had the Ultra for that, but dude, powerhouse, large battery. The battery life is good. I love the cellular connectivity. By the way, the iPhone cellular is very good.
Yes.
Okay, so that's another thing that I like about it. I think literally it's the battery life that pisses me off. That's really the only gripe I have. Like that's major. But man, the S21, the operating system is surprisingly good.
Yeah, they've made some improvements, Samsung. They've really made some improvements.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been nice. I'm excited to see what the Note series brings this year. If we get a Note series.
No series.
No Note series. I don't want to flip. I don't want to flip, dude. I don't want to foldable.
Well, you know what it is? I covered it on my episode. You know, Samsung said that they weren't doing a Note series this year, or at least they didn't release an announcement for a new Note series. And the reason is because we're so close to the deadline. There's been no reports, no rumors, nothing talking about a new Note series, and all we're hearing
late
is
in the year.
Yeah, it's fold.
Yeah.
But the only thing that we've heard is a fan edition. Now that's the only thing, but I haven't been able to find any leads on that, so I haven't really been able to cover that. It feels more like just a topic just to throw out there. It doesn't feel like an actual story that holds weight.
Yeah, and if they did make a fan edition, where would they sell it and how much is it?
Well, if you look at the Note series as a whole, the Note 20 Ultra or the Note 21, I forgot which phone are we even on.
It would be the Note 21 if there was one.
Well, if there was a Note 21, since we're on the Note 20 Ultra, we're looking at probably it's 1,300 starting, so you probably knock it down to
1,000,
like 1,000, yeah, or even $899 because of the plastic back. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean nobody's gonna want to pay $1,000 for a plastic phone. They want the premium glass and whatever else.
They want that, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Samsung. Well, I do know one thing is for sure. They are pushing the foldables, and I think we know why they are. They want to get back that Swiss Army knife of smartphones. They want a device capable, and also if you look at the market share, nobody's really capitalizing on foldables. Samsung's been the front runner, because they keep trying to push this down everybody's throat.
But are people going out clamoring and asking for foldables yet?
That's the question we have to ask.
Right.
Yes,
because then if that happens, then Samsung wins, right?
Yes, because if they do, they win. But I will say, I have heard from retailers like people that work in Best Buy, they do here and then get purchase orders for a foldable. They are getting purchases, and not the big one, the flip, the regular flip. Mm-hmm. So my thoughts are, which foldable are they going to focus on going forward? Is it going to be the tablet 2-in-1, or is it going to be the clamshell? But I think that's where they're headed now. The Note, I think we got to blame, truthfully, we got to blame ourselves for that. We made the Note die because we kept buying into OnePlus, Samsung's, S series, and Samsung added the S Pen support to the Ultra series. That kind of sealed the deal for me.
Yeah, they weren't going to get rid of the S series, so it made sense to just give the pencil to that model or whatever.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Randy. He says, I'm a Samsung guy myself. The wife and the daughter have iPhones. Very common dynamic amongst families.
Mom's got a Samsung, I got an iPhone.
Right. Yeah. Like when I look at my students and I look at the number of phones I see on tables and desks, it's like, man, at least 90% iPhones.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, it might be more, So yeah, I've most definitely. And thanks for the generous donations, Randy. Very kind of you. Peace to my brother Siova. Best phone hands down, the Axon M. Come on, bro. A 4-year-old phone? Man, he's loyal, man. Hey, Joe. Sneed, have you tried a OnePlus phone since Google doesn't have a high-end phone? OnePlus. I think you're right, Joe. That is true. It's going to get you close to a Google experience.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though, about the OnePlus. As much as it is very close to the stock Android experience of the Google phones, It's close but no cigar.
Yes.
Meaning it's still not exactly a Google phone, but I see what you're saying. If you weren't satisfied with the Google Pixel 5, you could have got a OnePlus 9.
However, Android 11 Beta has confirmed they are no longer running Oxygen OS, Color OS.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people actually don't like that.
Yeah, I'm sure some people are bummed out. Big shout out to Rizwan. Appreciate that $5 donation. Appreciate the super chat. Is Los Mobile a true MVNO or a business who sells accounts, one-man operation, or a biz that is run by several persons who will last a while? It is actually a legitimate business. They are legitimately like an operational, established business. They have transparent operations. They have a website. You can go to losmobileusa.com. They have a Discord server. They have a Twitter account you can contact customer care through. They're responsive. I've spoken to at least 2 or 3 of the customer care reps before personally. They're very, very good. They work with you. If you communicate with them, it's a small operation, so they're very, very adjustable, and they'll work with you, man. Like, honestly, dude, like Carlos has done something really good. He has put together some resources to create really high priority access for people who normally wouldn't be able to afford it or can't budget it.
Yes.
Like I've seen people selling these lines, these types of access lines for $150, $200 on eBay.
Yeah.
And Carlos is killing them, not only in pricing, but he's legitimately treating people well. Like he's not cutting people off. He's reaching out to people, like legitimately trying to help. And God, man, he did the promotion with us through the Patreon page.
Yeah,
dude, it's awesome, bro.
He's been trying to get me on, and I feel bad for not taking advantage of it. But
I'll tell you what, Mike. If you want to just try it, I have 2 Los Mobile lines. I will send you one to try as like you could just do it like a trial.
Okay.
And then send it back whenever you're done with it. And let me know what you think. And if you're interested in getting a line, you would keep it.
Yeah, I'll definitely. And I'd love to see Los, because we're good friends with Carlos. He's been good to all of us. I like that he's trying to give back to the people that want the performance and not that can't afford it. So I really like his operation. I like what he's going for. And I love the customer service engagement. Most companies, you don't ever hear from people, or you get the same kind of, mumbo jumbo. So I like that Los has kind of worked it where you can get a personalized response from a real person. So I really like that.
Yeah. Christopher, honestly, the difference in the frame rate, and the refresh rate, it's noticeable, when you go backwards. But I don't know, man. I really do think that the iPhone touch responsiveness of the display is nice.
Yeah.
So like the one thing about the iPhone that it has great haptics, and it has good screen display sensitivity with touch response.
Yes.
So I feel like that's part of the experience too. Tom, I'm sorry you got that phone, dude, but I could have told you that phone was going to give you a hard time, man.
Yeah.
Anytime T-Mobile's giving you something for free, you just got to assume that it's going to be troublesome.
So while you're doing the live chats, you want me to talk about the phones from my perspective while you're going through?
Yeah, and let me just wrap up this last one here. Andy, that's a downgrade, dude. You must really like iOS.
Yeah, I'm sorry, assuming. Andy. I'm not saying you made a bad choice, but unless you're an iOS fan like I was, that doesn't look too good on paper.
I know.
But I'm not gonna bash. Yeah, I'm not gonna bash though.
Siova's got the Note 20 Ultra. Stephanie's got the Note 10 Plus. I loved my Note 10 Plus.
You know what? I wish I'd never traded it in. I really wish I never traded it.
It was really nice.
I really did enjoy it. But you know what? I can always buy another one, so I'm not worried about it. But for now, I'm sticking with one phone.
Rizwan, they don't sell accounts. They sell lines.
Yeah, lines.
So I don't know if that answers your question about authorization or whatever. Yeah, see, Barry can attest. Carlos has personally emailed him and took care of him. Yeah, that's what it is. It's all Death Star, dude. It's all Big Blue.
AT&T.
I think he's working on getting some. I think he's working on getting some extra access with some other companies.
That's good. He can make some moves like that. Rakam.
Alpha Rakama, what up, bruh?
Rakam.
All right, go ahead. Tell me about this, bruh. Tell me.
All right, so your list is very good. So I'm gonna try to keep it the same way you did. So let's start with last place, my last phone for 2021. So I've only got a couple. It's not gonna be a long list. So starting off, the last phone that I pick is the A52 5G. And the reason I put it dead last is because even though it's a cheap phone, it does give you some high-end features. It does give you some high-end, but there is a price to be paid when you go with an A series. So that's why I put it last.
I would say that the A32 is probably like the most problematic phone this year thus far.
If you have an A32, I advise you get an A52 or maybe try to see if you can push it to a 7. Sure. But anyway, the next phone behind that I'm giving that phone the iPhone 12 mini and the 12. I've combined them into two. And I'm going to tell you why I separated the Pro and Pro Max where they lie on my list. But the reason I put them down, the mini and the 12, is because they do give you the same experience as the Pro and Pro Max, but with a cheaper price point with no difference in 5G performance, but battery life is terrible. And nobody wants a mini phone. I mean, there are people that do like mini phones. The battery should have been bigger for that phone.
Bro, they really don't. You know, everybody has buyer's remorse who bought the mini. Like, seriously, I know one of my students has a mini and she likes it.
Yeah.
The only person who says, "Oh, I'm really glad I got this phone." But they were coming out of an SE though.
Yeah, they were coming out.
The old one.
Yeah, but so maybe for them it's okay. For them maybe. Yeah. But at that rate, you're probably better off buying the new SE than going with that. But anyway, so the next one. Now we're going to the top 3. OnePlus 9 Pro is my third choice. I think the OnePlus 9 has actually hit a really good stride. I think that they've got some good camera technology. Ultra wide camera angles are good. But I do agree with you what you said about the 9 Pro. In second place, the S21 Ultra. I think the S21 Ultra really is the best Android for every bang for your dollar. Before I say the number 1, which is pretty obvious, honorable mention, I want to give a shout out to the Pixel 4a 5G. I do think it deserves to be mentioned in the conversation, even though it's a mid-range. I do also think we need to give some consideration to the Z Fold 2, because even though it is a foldable and I'm not putting it in my top 5 list, you can't deny that a 2-in-1 foldable with 5G is not a bad idea to try out if you're in the market to spend that kind of money. But the number 1, and I'm probably going to get a little bit of confusion here, but I'm going with the 12 Pro Max. And the reason I'm going with the Pro Max, not the Pro. The Pro is not here. I left the Pro off for the honorable mentions list. The Pro Max is my number 1 so far because of a couple of reasons. Number 1, it takes everything that you like about the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro, but improves it better with the camera technology, video performance, which I think everybody here is crazy about in the tech world. Photography and videos have become like the norm. 5G performance, I think, is a lot better with the Pro Max, as it has a slightly bigger battery, so it does get a little bit better, but I do agree battery can be improved. I think, yes, even though iOS isn't the most pleasing, it is the more refreshing when you, like you said, when it comes down to tapping in apps, the way it responses, and the way you can custom. Like Apple's getting better with customization now, so I feel like iOS 15, we'll see where they go from there. But all around, it's just a really all-around phone. It's a real all-arounder, meaning like it handles the daily tasks of 5G where you find it with ultra-wideband. I like the fact that it does offer. I don't know if you guys can see on the back of my phone, but there's a little ring around the Apple logo, MagSafe. So I'm glad that Apple gives you a feature because we know where they're headed with this. They're getting rid of that.
Yeah, that's.
I also like.
For the game.
I do like the display, even though I think the notch is still ridiculously big. I do like that they give you a little bit less border, so you get more screen. But overall, I wouldn't say that the 12 Pro Max is number 1 by a large margin. It is so razor thin. The S21 Ultra could be number 1. I could swap it any day. So I would honestly argue that first and second are tied together. But the 12 Pro Max, for me, edges out just a slight bit. Plus also going into consideration software support. You're going to get a ton of software support with Apple. That's one thing. And I also like, this is my final thing and then I'm done. I know everybody makes a big fuss about the ecosystem, and I'm not going to be one of those people. But I will say, there's one thing about it that I do appreciate. I do appreciate their in-house hardware with ultra-wideband technology. I also appreciate their U1 chip. And I also appreciate when you use their devices with the built-in hardware. I do appreciate the fact that you get a different experience versus what I've seen. Because I've used Android with Bluetooth and I've seen proprietary. The only thing that comes close to it is aptX and LDAC when you're talking codec. Mm-hmm. But with Apple, it's in-house hardware. Yeah. So that's something I got to give them credit for.
Yeah. I mean, they do create experiences through their hardware. And, you know, like it's almost like they build a suite of features, you know, that could be unique for their branding, you know, and they'll say, hey, Mike wants to come into the store. He's going to get an Apple device. He's going to get Apple Care Plus. He's going to get Apple AirPods. He's going to get what are you using now? The what's it called? The Max Pros. What are they called?
AirPod Max.
AirPod Max. That's what it's called. Yeah, those studio grade headphones. I mean,
Yeah.
all that stuff is premium. All that stuff is well performing. It's all high grade equipment. There's no settling, right? So yeah, you end up paying to be in this ecosystem, right? If you're gonna encompass everything, there's no bargains, there's no breaks, but they offer everything.
But there is one thing I will say: Samsung is right there. They're tapping on the door. They're not knocking. They're tapping. They've got proprietary codec coming. Well, they have it. Scramble codec. If you use AKG headphones or Samsung Galaxy Buds,
that's where it's at.
Well, there's more.
Oh.
They've now come out with AirDrop for Samsung phones.
Oh, okay.
They've got their own share. They've got now RCS messaging. So now if you have an Android, RCS is fully rolled out.
Nice.
No excuse. And
I started using it with my S20 Plus, I think.
Yeah, we were the ones, we made videos pushing for RCS. I remember way back, our videos pop up with RCS. You look up on YouTube RCS, it's you, me, and probably other people.
Yeah.
And we're proud. I'm proud I pushed RCS.
Totally. Yeah.
But I will say this, last thing. Samsung is really close. I think there's one thing that they need to do, and then they could fully start knocking on the door. They got to drop Bixby. They got to embrace their partnership with Google, and I think they are. They are making big progresses. They have to truly step up performance when it comes to hardware and software. Whether they go in-house or not, we'll find out. They have to, and I repeat, they must, if they want to compete, because they don't need smartphones to compete with Apple. They got home appliances. They've got tons of other subsidiaries.
Yeah.
But there is one area of market that they can improve on, and I think they've got potential for it. And you know what that is? Take a guess.
I mean, I was going to say something in audio, but...
Not audio.
No.
It's simple. It's very simple. Their smartphone lineup. They got to stop making too many models for different markets.
So what do you want to get rid of? The Mini? I think that's pretty much official.
Yeah, we'll get rid of the Mini. I think for Samsung.
So then for Samsung, it's going to be simplify the S lineup. And
Simplify the S lineup.
A lineup.
Simplify the A lineup. Stop with A32, A50, A70. Just release one or the other.
Those sell in stores, dude. The prepaid market, those are the phones that they sell, man. Like, you remember the A11 and the A10e?
Well, those are so minuscule, because so many people can't even afford the good ones. But you can't keep releasing one A11, A32, A50, A70.
I guarantee you,
four
Marc,
different.
I guarantee you that the A series devices last year sold better than the S series.
They did. They probably did.
If we're just talking volume, I know the profits are better with the flagships, but I'm saying volume-wise, like the number of phones.
I would think so, because I made a big rave about them last year.
People go into Metros, they go into Boost Mobiles. They're like, "Hey, what?
What's selling
$100.
well?
What you got?"
You know what's selling well in prepaid? The Nord, the OnePlus Nord.
Sure. Yeah.
The Nord is making some wave.
Yeah.
But I think Samsung really needs to simplify their lineup. They got to stop saturating so much, because then they've got J series, then they've got F series.
I think that's done. I think that's
done. They gotta drop that. So I think they should have 3 different lineups. You should have your foldables. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Foldables. Go ahead.
They've got the foldables, the S series, the A series, and that's really about it. I think if they could keep it down to 3, but improve on those models and work on that instead of doing F series and other models and just going all over the place, keeping things, condensed. Because in my latest episode of Technoid, I talk about their earbuds. Listen, this is what they've got. Galaxy Buds. Those headphones came out 2 years ago. Galaxy Bud Plus. They were supposed to replace the Galaxy Buds. Galaxy Bud Live.
Are those the kidneys?
No. The Live are the kidneys.
Oh,
Galaxy Bud Lives. The Galaxy Bud Pros.
Oh,
and
man.
now the Galaxy Bud 2s. 5 different pairs of headphones.
In what, 2 years?
In 6 months.
6 months.
So that's my point. Stop saturating the lineup.
Yeah. Nobody knows
And-
what to buy.
You know what
You're
they
gonna
do?
be like, I want to buy Samsung headphones. They're gonna be like, well, you got 5 different models you can buy.
Yeah, I gotta say, stop saturating everything. Focus on what you want to sell. I think personally, it should be 4 headphones. It should be 4. You've got your low end entry level.
Yeah.
You've got your unique one, the Bean one. Then you've got your active noise canceling,
Sure.
and then you have probably
Studio
the
grade.
Studio grade. Yes, there you go. They don't even take advantage of AKG. I've
Which is
given
crazy.
up on it.
That's an
They
incredible
put
partnership.
marketing. They put market by AKG, sound by AKG, but AKG the brand, they don't even use AKG. They make headphones. Like, let me put it to you this way, Sam. I was a huge fan of AKGs.
Yep.
You knew me. You guys saw my videos. I rocked AKG till I was blue in the face.
Mhm.
No firmware updates. Bluetooth 4.2 in their studio grade top line.
Shoddy, unreliable.
2.5 millimeter input, where most headphones usually have 3.5. But of course,
Right.
studio grade, you can make the exception.
Sure.
USB-C, but it couldn't use a power delivery brick.
Mm.
And it only had about 20. No, you know what? Battery was respectable, so I'll take that off.
That's a lot of negotiables. That's too many. If it was one thing, you'd overlook it. Big shout out to Stephanie. Thank you for that super chat. She's got the clear MagSafe case too. All right,
But
we got
and then there's real quick.
Zero Cool wanted to say hi to Tech.
Yeah, what's up, so cool. But then they released new headphones.
They
The
told.
N400, the in-ear active noise canceling. They released the Y600, which is a follow-up or some kind of mid-level over-ear with active noise. Never seen them. Never came to the United States. Never made their way over. Never even made it across the lot. So I think that's a sin that you have a studio-grade company, an AKG, and you're not utilizing them. They should be the Beatz of Samsung. Like how Beatz are to Apple, they should be the Beatz to Samsung. Like how Apple uses their technology, but they let Beatz do
Right.
their own thing. I got my own perspective on their phasing out, but we'll do that another day. They should be doing that with Beatz. They got the scrambled codec inside the headphones. You can make a big fuzz. They work perfectly with Galaxy
You
devices.
can market it, right? It's a selling point. It's a feature.
But no support,
Right.
lackluster specs,
Mm-hmm.
weird configuration with their ports, and then
It's a
fact
bad
that-
combo, dude.
I'm sorry, it's
They're striking out, essentially.
they're
is what you're
striking
saying.
out. That's
Yeah.
4 strikes, not even 3.
You've been out, dude. Go sit down.
You've been out. Go bench, warm the bench.
Big shout out to Ethan. Biggest advantage Apple has over other OEMs is the wearables. The Apple
Yes.
Watch is still the one, dude.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm back on it. I got my.
That's a
Apple
shame.
Watch.
That's on Android. Right? That's on Google. That's
why
on
they
them.
combine with Samsung. That's why they combine, because Samsung was the only one that seemed to have gotten closer with Tizen, which even though I used to complain about Tizen, for all intents and purposes, it worked because Google then came and said, "Hey, we need your help."
Longtime friend of the show, Tim. Appreciate you stopping
Timmy.
by, man. Good to see you, bro. Hope all is well with you, man. Big Todd, good to see you as well. We got some throwbacks, man. Some of the OG SMT,
OGs
man.
of the day.
That's right. RCS is gone from Samsung's native messaging apps, so it's either RCS with Google Messages or messages across.
Well,
Samsung
they were
with their Messages
replacing.
app.
They're replacing their native messaging.
I use-
app. They're
right,
going
with Google Messages.
Yeah, so
Right.
Samsung is already. They've discussed they're going native with their partnership. They're going native with
J-Series
Google
been
Messages.
gone for a while. Yeah, I was.
They're
gonna
still
say
released.
that.
I saw some release, but I think they were
Really?
like maybe a one phone, but that was it.
All right. Well, I was never a fan. I never thought they did much for anybody, you know.
Mm-mm.
Nick, I have to disagree. I think Samsung devices are really good. I do think that the Google operating system gives it the advantage over a Galaxy, but I think that the Galaxy hardware is second to none.
Yeah,
You know, like I think in a perfect world, you could get a Samsung Galaxy S21 with a Google Play edition, where it's, you know, it's the Google phone, you know, of the Samsung Galaxy hardware.
yeah.
Galaxy Buds Live are fantastic, says Paul. He's
I
enjoying them.
mean, if they fit in your ears, they are a good. They are a good pair of earbuds.
Some physiology to it, huh?
Yeah, Pixel Buds are great. Yes, Tim.
Yeah, I like my Pixel Buds as well. They sent me a pair of Pixel Buds with my Pixel 5, man. I've been using them like crazy.
I've never yet to review them. I've been wanting to review them. I just don't have the time, or I can't find them in stores.
Randy's been using Raycons.
I'm going to go silent on that one.
Oh, okay. So I don't know much about that brand. I'm going to have to check it out.
I'm not saying anything. Mm-mm.
All right. Their way of doing an AirDrop equivalent is limited because you have to be signed into your Samsung account to use it. And I can't just share full res to anyone's laptop because they limit it to. Wow. Well, to the laptops. Okay. So that keeps, so they're trying to, again, create the exclusivity, the ecosystem situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google's been blowing smoke about wearables for the last 2 years. They bought out Fitbit, promising change. I don't know what they bought Fitbit for. We still haven't seen anything. Right?
They didn't even make a Pixel Watch. Apparently, they are making a Pixel Watch, but
so Technoid, you covered this, I think, about Tizen and Wear OS. Kind of Tizen going.
Yeah,
by the
I covered it.
and,
I will say that it's basically.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
It's going to be end up getting something. Honestly, the Google Graveyard has already been expanded by 2 lots, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that.
I hope not, man. Bring back the Google Play Edition. Yes, totally agree, man. Yep. $1,000 for no SD card slot, 1080p display, no charging brick is purebred BS. Samsung can improve. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna give him a pass for that. But honestly, dude, once Apple did it, it was just
everybody follows. Everybody follows. When Apple does something, everybody jumps at it.
Google harvesting the user data from Fitbit.
That's literally the only reason I bought it.
They're like, we want to see everybody's movement.
They make such a big fuzz. Data and security is number 1. But then 2 days later, we could see your data while you purchase something on Google Chrome.
I know. Zero Cool was dogging them that whole time during I.O., man.
I saw.
That was hilarious.
You know what's funny is that Apple released that privacy update in, I think, 14.6, and so many, like Instagram, Facebook, and them, they're trying to find ways around it. I've just left that thing off, and I've never gotten any ads or anything.
Yeah.
So Apple really kind of put a nail on the coffin for that.
Yeah.
So I give that. I mean, even though I do think Apple's got their own little thing going on behind the scenes, I can't lie. When they take shade at Facebook and Instagram, they're like, "That's our customers. We're gonna take their stuff. You ain't getting a piece of that."
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
What's your take on rest of the year, device wise? What are you psyched about, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's been hard for me to have any expectations because every day, we're getting renders and leaks from so many YouTubers. Everybody
Can we agree that the Pixel 6 looks ugly with that weird color visor thing on the back?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the worst thing I've seen, but it's definitely not the prettiest looking.
Dude, it doesn't do anything aesthetically pleasing for the design. I don't... Bro, for anybody to say that looks good, they can go to hell.
Do you really expect much from Google from a company that gave us the 3XL?
Okay,
Do you really expect anything from that?
Okay, the Panda 2XL was one of the best phones ever.
Okay, the Panda 2XL, fine, yes.
Okay, the Pixel 1 was a plain Jane utilitarian design device. There was nothing nice about it. It was a great phone, but nothing spectacular about the design. The Panda with the orange home button, 2XL, was a great phone with a great design. The Nexus 6 from Motorola was incredible. The 5X, the Huawei Nexus 6P was incredible. I mean, there have been some amazing Google phones. The 4XL were good phones. Yeah, the 3XL was atrocious, but the phone, bro, do you know that my 3XL is faster than my Google Pixel 5?
No way, get out of here.
I swear it's faster.
I swear, I smell a cat somewhere.
Yeah, it's faster, dude. I'm not even exaggerating. The 3XL is a faster, more powerful phone than the 5.
No, I believe.
So I still use it, and it's nice. I don't have a SIM in it right now, but I'm tempted to put another Verizon SIM in there or a Los Mobile SIM or something.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, man. Let's see what else. Yeah, I don't know, man. From Google, I always get excited about the mid-range because people can afford them, right? A lot of people can buy them. Obviously, I'm psyched for a true flagship Pixel.
Yeah.
I want an XL because I want a big battery, so don't just give me the 6. I want a 5,000 milliamp hour Google phone, and I'll be excited about the cellular connectivity of the next generation of phones. So whatever the Samsung Galaxy S22.
Yeah, I think
Google
those are
7,
cool.
whatever.
Yeah.
Because, we're going to have some pretty cool connections.
Well, there is rumors about that whole AMD GPU coming into a play with Samsung. But I don't know if you remember, they're probably going to start that partnership soon.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but they say the report is probably going to be the next S series phone or foldable, depending. So we'll see.
Michael West says, I love the saggy bobes on the 3XL. Nice.
Man.
Steph had the Nexus 6. I love that phone. Both my mom and my brother had it, and they hated having to upgrade when their displays broke. The displays were worth more than the phones. Like if you wanted to buy a brand new, a refurb Nexus 6 at the time, it was like $98. The display was $150.
Man.
Yeah, my Pixel
Good
3
old
faster than my 5. Yeah, I'm telling you, Tito, it's true.
Hey, you ain't wrong.
Xiaomi being removed from blacklisting is exciting. Yeah, for imports.
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem. Xiaomi does not make North American phones.
They don't.
So the cellular, your phone basically becomes a Wi-Fi phone.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to get the compatibility with like T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T.
I'm kind of curious because I've been craving to see Xiaomi and Oppo and all them make their way to the U.S., but looking at the track record from OnePlus, I have a little bit of faith that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know, Randy. The as much as I like what Sony does, they have no mind share. They have no market share here in North America.
Yeah.
So
Xbox is really just I already covered that, Michael. I'm so tired of covering the AMD stories because people keep telling me, "Oh, you're just wasting your time." I've already covered them, so Technoid's already got you on that.
Yeah, they do make good TVs. That's true.
They do. Yes, they do.
Show me the Xiaomi, bruh. Show me the Xiaomi. What else, Mike? Anything for the good of the order, man?
Only last thing I can think of, and then that's all I can think of right now is what other products do excite people besides smartphones? Besides, I focus on audio because I'm a huge audio fan.
A millimeter wave iPad.
True.
That excites me, so I'd like to get one of those. I want to see a company do what LG did with the V60 and the V50 with the secondary display. I want to see a company embrace that modularity. I just never bought LGs because the lack of software support and the janky software. It wasn't that I didn't like the form factor. I love the concept of a detachable display, a secondary display.
I kind of want to try it. I felt bad I never gave it a chance, but I see you could get it on a resale for pretty cheap.
Well, if Google did one, I'd buy it. If Apple did one, I would buy it. So it wasn't the fact that LG wasn't innovative. They were. It's just nobody believed in their software. Nobody believed in and nobody knew what they were doing because they didn't market. They didn't advertise. What's up, Nintendo 504? What? What do you mean, Rip? What Rip? Anyways, I think that pretty much covers everything. I don't know if Technoid is out.
No, I'm still here. Sorry.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap the show. I already did a podcast on the Patreon side.
I watched it. Great stuff.
Yeah, so
I got to ask you, my man, what is going on with all the replay clips? When can we expect some nice, good old back to the form content?
What happened?
No, because I'm noticing you're chopping up the podcasts and showing clips, which is actually not a bad move. I gotta say, I like it.
Everybody's been asking me and clamoring. They're like, look, man, I don't have an hour. I don't have 2 hours to listen to your whole podcast. Make clips. So I did, They
work. Yeah. They work.
But Mike, I'm still uploading a new video every day.
When you gonna upload that special video?
It's just the timing. I might do it at the end of this week. I might do it over the weekend.
You never know. Nah, I'm just playing with you. But no, I like the fact that you're chopping up the streams and getting to the pieces that are important.
Yeah.
Only thing I'd recommend is if you pre-record it and then chop it up and then, take certain sections out or make it a Patreon exclusive or something of those. So that way, instead of having the live stream, because then people could just go back to that instead of going to the clips, just keep the clips. Or just keep the clips. Then just keep the clip.
Yeah, but they don't go back to the podcast, bro, because I look at the podcast. Let's say I do it on a Sunday, right? I look at the numbers Monday morning, and let's say I have 1,000 views on the podcast. I check at the end of the week Friday, maybe there's been 50 or 60 views the whole week.
Ooh.
But if I do the clips,
you'll get more.
There'll be 300, 400, 500, 600 views on each of the clips.
So the clips are probably working more than you know.
And then people say, "Well, thank you for uploading these clips. I only have 5 minutes on my drive to work."
Yeah.
So they don't like to be disrupted and then have to have a discontinuous podcast, but they'll listen to the clips. And to be honest with you, Mike, I try to take about 5 elements from each podcast, 3 to 5. 3 to 5 things that I thought were the most important. So like if I was going to chop up this podcast, what would I do? Probably the part where I talked about my best phones of the year, the part where you talked about your best phones of the year.
Yeah.
Like that would be pretty much what it is. Honestly, me personally, I could listen to a podcast from beginning to end. But some people literally just want a few minutes.
Yeah.
They tell me, they're like, "Dude, I love your content, but I don't watch past 2 or 3 minutes."
I agree. Yeah. I can see people be like that. But you know what? That's millennials. Short attention span.
All right. Well, anything else for the good of the order, Michael?
Well, I'm not going to promote myself. I mean,
Please do. Please do.
do.
Tell them what you do. Tell them about your channel and then what you got down the pipeline.
To those of you that already subscribed, thank you, appreciative. But I am a tech show host. I run a show called Technoid. My name is not Technoid. It's really Mike, but everybody calls me Technoid just because. But I enjoy it. Basically, this is my channel. If you guys want to check it out, I don't know if you can see it. It says Technoid.
Mods, let's get a link. Mods.
We'll get that link. Well, I just post, videos about the latest tech rumors and news in the tech world without the BS, without the bias. And I just give it to you like it is. I like to have fun with my show. It's probably one of the, in my opinion, based on my work, I think it's probably one of the most, unique-ish.
It's dope, bro. It's dope.
I don't want to say I'm better than anybody, but when I start going crazy, you're never gonna see anything like my show. And if you don't believe me, this summer, wait until you see what I've got planned. Awesome. You have no idea. And also, real quickly, I will also make a quick announcement. Tomorrow, I am uploading at 2 p.m. a very special video. I promise that I've been teasing it. I will not give away what the video is, but I will say it is a very personal video to me. So I hope to see you guys there at 2 o'clock. It'll be released at exactly 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'll be there in the live. Yeah.
No, it won't be premiered, unfortunately. It will just be uploaded. But I hope to see you in the comment sections, and I hope you guys watch it and enjoy it. And then we'll get back to Technoid, and then some reviews are coming. So a lot of things to look forward to this summer.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Kimon. Thanks for shouting that out.
Thank
Let's
you.
get Technoid to 3K subs. Joe, appreciate the support and you enjoying the content. Thank you, man. Stephanie just subscribed, bro. She's gonna be there to watch.
We appreciate that.
And yeah, man. Tito's calling for an exclusive intro. Man.
Tito. Okay, I'm gonna say right
Jeffy.
now, the first exclusive intro. Anybody out there watch Netflix? You like BoJack Horseman?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first one up for the summer.
Nice.
And also, one last thing. I'm so sorry.
That's
Live
okay.
streams are coming back. I will be going live on my channel again because I was a little swarmed with work and school. But my live streams will be all guest filled. I will be allowing guests on my episodes. I'm never doing one solo, or if I do, it'll be a breaking news one.
Nice. All right. So be on the lookout for Technoid content. Be on the lookout for SMT content.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for other live streams and collabs from myself and Mike. And we randomly do this. Who knows? Maybe we'll find more time over the summer to do these occasionally.
Yeah.
Where we just hang out and talk phones and tech and Teslas and whatever else.
And
right,
UFC, Mike. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah, we got to do the UFC.
We got to
thing.
get back into it.
Oh, and by the way, for those of you out there, I am starting to upload on my second channel.
Yes.
Sneed Clips. So mods, if you can get over to my second channel, Sneed Clips, and provide me with a link, thank you for that. I've been posting all types of videos. Videos of coffee, videos of speed tests. Like I'm literally gonna I'm gonna do my initials. I'm gonna cut my initials in my grass in my front yard, and I'm gonna do a video on it.
Coffee.
It's literally just going to be clips of anything and everything throughout my day. And the reason I want to do that is because I already have 300 and some subs on that channel. And honestly, bro, like me putting fuel, me rolling down a hill
Literally will get you like 500 views.
maybe I'll eat a dozen donuts or something at the local donut shop or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, check out my channel, Sneed clips. I just started uploading again. I'll do a daily video of just randomness. They'll be short, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Unless I decide that I want to throw a spinning heel kick to Technoid's trainer or whatever. Maybe I'll do that. You guys,
I'm gonna do a run and jump Superman.
yeah, a flying knee. All right, guys. Well, we're done. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of the SMT Nation, supporting myself and Technoid. And we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.